fascinating to hear from all four players before we get underway with our first match of the night. And it is Callum Singleton that gets our favourite pairing for tonight, Callum and Josh Kane, underway. But dry break means that we do have Charlie Ripp and Richard Twomey with the first opportunity here. 20-minute matches we have. Everybody plays everyone. 6 20-minute matches across the evening. Whoever comes out on top once everyone has played everyone will walk away and be into the next stage of the competition. Each match is a race to 4. Very fast and furious. If the clock runs out, whatever the score is the score. So you can win this 1-0. If it ends up a draw, you share the points. Hope that makes sense, Jimmy.
Made sense to me, but yeah. I'm a veteran now, so it definitely makes sense to me. But for those at home, yeah, if you didn't get that, then I don't think Simon wants to go through it again. So, sorry.
Oh, early miss. Charlie Ripp having a good season in the Challenger Series Tier 2. Won a title a little bit earlier on. Event 4. So really good partnership for me. Good friends. Richard Twomey, as you mentioned, we were out in the arena just before we got going. Very, very good player. Well-known player as well. Sort of maybe dark horses for tonight, but they all really believe they can make it through.
Yeah, I mean, as I've said so many times and said just out there in the arena, Sam, you know, the format lends itself to absolutely anyone winning. It's not the best shot from Josh, though. He has left half a chance here for Richard Twomey. Yeah, you know, it's one of them. It's short, it's sharp, it's quick.
Richard Twomey's turn to miss one here. Slightly slow start to the evening. I'd be disappointed with that. We talk about these nights and how important the opening frames are. The Scotch frame that we have to start with is normally so important to get yourself going in short race matches. You know, if that clock comes into play and you've won the first one, then you've something to build on. Certainly, the first 2 frames are huge. And we will play Scotch frame, which is alternate shot doubles essentially, and then it will be singles back to the Scotch. So sort of, it's not all pairs pulled. It's a bit of everything out there.
It's a great format. I've missed. I've been watching from the sofa the last few weeks, and looking forward to getting going myself. I don't think ordinarily I'd be playing, given my recent health issues, but I'm not going to let my partner down. So I will be out there myself in a few weeks, and I am looking forward to playing.
Save that part of it for the night itself.
Yeah, no, well, I'm just getting my excuses ready. You know what I mean? I mean, he's had excuses for the last 3 years, so it's my turn. You know.
Callum watches on. Big shot here for Josh Kane. Yeah, and he's done well. Really important that he had that red just tracked forward enough to block the pocket.
He said that Charlie Ripp had won a Challenger event this season, Simon. I mean, that takes some doing. You know, them Challenger events are really tough. Long days, you know, a lot of players playing them. So he'll be full of beans. He'll be a player at the minute that feels that he can compete with anyone.
Having a good season as well. It's not just winning an event. He's up at 4th in the Challenger Tier 2 rankings. A semi-final and a victory. You know, it's a really good season for him. Looking to move up to Tier 1 next year. Good season for Richard Twomey as well. He's inside that top 15 of Tier 1.
Yeah, real fierce competitor, Richard Twomey. Been about a long time. He'll certainly want to be mixing it with the pros, that's for sure.
Should be an opportunity to go ahead and win this frame, and I find this part of it quite interesting. They had a good chat earlier on in the frame, but now that they're going to the finish, Josh played his shot and then kind of walked away and let Callum figure it out for himself, and vice versa. They can continue the conversation here. What's your take on that, Jimmy? You one that you know, depends if you're on the same wavelength as your sort of partner out there, but talking through the pattern, the way to go?
Yeah, there's absolutely a balance to it, isn't there? Where, you know, of course, you do want to do that little bit of tucking. I think sometimes as well, you kind of know what you need to do. You know the shots to play. But sometimes it can just give you that little bit of time just to calm your nerves, maybe. You know, regroup. You know, it's not just about, you know, sort of running around and smashing everything in. Sometimes it's just nice to you know, calm yourself down on certain shots. Played that nicely because he had more angle than what he wanted, so
Killed it in really well, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. It could have bounced a little bit closer to the middle of the table, so nice shot that. But yeah, you've absolutely got to trust, you know, your partner. You know, and like I say, there's a balance because you don't want to spoil your flow, your natural flow of play. But if you've got two players that don't play a similar style, then that's where obviously finding that balance is a lot more difficult. But these two, you know, reasonably quick players, I'd say anyway.
Doesn't always do that very well.
Oh, what a break. Oh, unfortunate. Finds the in off, and, well, not a bad split either of them. I think that will be just about it, because...
Hit that well, didn't he?
Yeah, it's really well.
The cue ball's gone straight in, but you can see the easy power. It just sort of popped and they exploded.
And they can just wind the clock down here.
Yeah, 2:24, just go through this one relatively slowly as you can at 15 seconds a shot. Get very close to the clearance doing that anyway. With every passing second, becomes more and more likely that they will hold up and get this victory, which is all but certain now.
Not the best of shots, he's okay, but wanted to be on this bottom one.
Fairly natural to land nicely here. Middle one of the three. Touch closer to it than I thought they'd get, but can still work from there. If they land in straight in on that middle one of the three to top right, it's essentially frame over. A bit more work going this way around. That is nice. Off the break, for a clearance off the break, I should say. First one in the match, reverse clearance. Singleton, Josh Kane get the job done here in our opener. They have more work to do, but our group favourites are up and running here at the Pairs Cup. We are finally ready, and we've spoken about him. Here is David Compton getting us underway. No surprise to see him take the lead with the opening break for this combination, and it's a good one.
It is, yeah, very good break. It's a really clean, really firm. I think David will be probably hoping that Brian speeds his game up a little bit to match him. I think that's what kind of needs to happen here. You know, if it's the other way around and Brian starts to dictate the pace, it won't suit David at all. So let's kind of see what happens. I think with Brian, I think the thing is, and you know, as you get older, you develop these kind of fears and what with everything in life. But it's almost like he overthinks it. He thinks too much about it. But you know, he can still, you know, play and compete, and he can still beat anyone.
I said when I was with you out there and before, you know, just in that studio link, and Brian, he needs to be positive. When you see him play and he's positive and he's backing himself, he looks like he can, you know, compete with the best in the world. But he goes into these negative spirals where all he can see is, you know, is the problems and the errors and what could go wrong, and almost never backs himself to make clearances. And we have a lot of fun talking about the fact that he has the fastest ever 6-thread shootout, but he also has the slowest ever frame of pull. Weirdly, you know, we talk about Brian Halker having the slowest frame of pull. It was actually against Josh Kane, but we never really referenced Josh Kane in that because it was Brian that was being negative in that frame. But Brian had a brilliant chance to win the frame after 2 or 3 minutes and turned it down because his confidence was low, and that to me sums up where his game's been over the last few years.
Yeah. Did he win the frame?
He did win the frame, yeah.
Don't matter then, does it?
But it took 22.5 minutes
Wow.
in a 30-minute match. It's a
Yeah,
short on the match.
I do briefly remember it. I'm not sure if I was.
It was on the same day as he was given a trophy by Ultimate Pool for having the fastest ever 6-thread shootout, which was just mildly amusing to have the quickest ever and the slowest ever on the same day.
Fantastic, yeah. I mean, amazing. 22 minutes for a frame pool, is it? I mean, that's kind of snooker sort of territory, isn't it? 22 minutes, half an hour for a frame of snooker is, could be deemed okay. But yeah, not a frame of English pool, no, that's for sure.
It's a poor one from Brian.
Yeah, I think David didn't play the best shot before, though. He left him a little bit of angle, and Brian, I don't think, has got the technique to maybe deaden that ball. He's got it. Oh, it was close. It was close, but no cigar. So, who goes first here then? Will it be Jones or Jones, do you think?
Jones or Jones, well, they'll go first and second. No doubt, though, that Tom Jones Jr. will take the lead in this partnership. He is the professional of the two. Great that he gets to go out there and do it with his dad. But his dad's now, last year we saw them play, and obviously they came second in their group, lost out to Sean Shipfield and Carl Sutton. It was the only match they lost. They were very close to the 6-red shootout, actually. Just missed out, John Rowe missing a chance to make it 6-red. But the interesting thing for me is that since then, Tom Jones Sr. has gone on to play on the Challenger Series. He's now playing a lot more pool. So I actually think they'll be more competitive this year than last year, and they were close last year.
Yeah, no, he absolutely loves it. He lives and breathes, pool and travelling around with Tom. So it is nice to see them two out there enjoying it. It's good.
Strange decision to give them full sight of this 8-ball.
Well, yeah, I thought that. I mean, it's well, what a
it's as close as the line's not there.
Yeah, I mean, a bit hard. It was in the, I think it was in the middle, but
wasn't far away.
Yeah, it was a strange decision to give him that much of the 8-ball. I think I'd have just guaranteed the snooker there. I mean, if you get out of it and pot it, it happens. But was a strange one.
Should be plain sailing here for the Joneses to get this opening Scotch frame, which is always so important.
That's one thing I do think that people do a lot of, is they keep looking at the clock, worried about what's going on with the clock. I think you've just got to get on with it and try and forget the clock. Until them beeps go, you haven't got to panic about it.
The majority of the professionals now, Tom's not been a professional for that long, so he's still sort of finding his way really in terms of the experience out there. But the majority of the players almost have a rhythm now that they, 30 seconds a shot is not a problem, and they're never fearful of the clock. Like you say, they know. Most players now know, if they hear the beeps, they've still got time to get down and play the shot. There's not a panic in the end. 15 seconds a shot is a whole different deal, of course, but specifically talking about the 30. A little bit of angle on this, but simple enough for Senior to get them going. Nicely done. And you can hear there is some support in. They've certainly got the more support out of anybody. Maybe need to work on their celebration a little bit, but they have won the opening frame here.
Take like a Ronnie O'Sullivan in snooker, for argument's sake. He's that sort of character. He relies a lot on execution, a lot on his natural ability. And obviously when things go wrong, it sort of magnifies it. It looks absolutely awful because he does take his shots on. He probably isn't conventional with his patterns. But, obviously when he gets it right, he gets it very right, and he is, very, very capable, very talented young man.
Must be an uncomfortable feeling playing him because you feel like he can get out from anywhere at any time.
Yeah, you can't really leave him anything on. He is one of the, with a lot of players you can sort of go, okay, well I know I'm getting out of this.
Yeah.
Whereas with him you really don't. But yeah, I mean, I hope obviously he has a long and successful career, because he certainly loves his pool. He's on social media every day, seeing if anyone wants to play for a bit of money here, there and everywhere. So he's certainly doing the right things by doing that, putting himself out there and making himself available.
He certainly made himself available at the start of this frame. He kind of stood up and he didn't sort of force himself onto his dad and say, you know, you need to do this, but he just made his dad feel, you know, I'm here if you want me. And now that he's, now that he's sort of made his decision, he's just going to let him run with it. Very much the lead of this partnership, as we saw last week as well.
Let's not forget, though, your dad's always the boss.
Yeah.
Put it this way, if it all goes drastically wrong in the car home, I dare to say he won't be effing and blinding and blaming his dad for everything, because I still don't think he's quite big enough to not get a clip up the ear hole. Do you know what I mean? I know my dad would certainly give me a clip if I was too mouthy, that's for sure.
Yeah, and he gets up again just to see if there's anything he can help with. Key shot, really. Could have done with being on the red on the right-hand side here. Miss was more about the cue ball than it was the pot itself.
Yeah, and what he's done by missing that as well with rattling that is he's brought the yellow actually into play at the top of the table, whereas where it was before, it wasn't really in any play. So it now goes to the top right-hand pocket as we look at the table. Dave has just got to work out his positional play here. But yeah, you know, going back to Tom Jones, he does absolutely live and breathe Junior, so it is nice to see. No matter what, he's in his corner, he's always there, he's always supporting him. And yeah, it's great. It's a good advert for the game to have them both out there in this tournament, because Tom could have his pick of the bunch, really. You know, he could choose anyone to partner.
It's such a unique tournament for that reason. He could have picked a few other players, but he wants to be out there playing with his dad. As you see, Dave Compton leaving his bad ball late, and he's not got the angle he needs.
This is a tough shot. It's a bit that's really thin.
Doesn't want to get the bump. Oh, he's got a shot. He's got a shot, which is all he could ask for from where he was.
What a pot that is.
Needs another.
Tough. Like it was over the pocket.
Yeah, brilliant player. We talked about David coming in, didn't we? And, you know, obviously a new name for Ultimate Pool, and a lot of people watching probably haven't seen him play before, but fantastic player. This shouldn't be Brian's break, I don't think. This isn't Brian's frame. I'm not sure if there's been a mistake out there. I'm almost certain it's meant to be David Compton to play.
He's got it off.
Yeah, you see Tom and Orich, our referee, having a chat there at the back, and yeah, the order of the players here is wrong. He's meant to be David Compton out there playing here. I'm not sure. The first time I've seen that happen. It's going to be allowed to roll. Tom won't care if he clears up here.
So it's supposed to be David versus Senior?
No, it's supposed to be David versus Junior.
Right. Okay.
If you're on the right-hand side, you play player one, player two, both ways through the rotation. So David Compton played the second frame, the first individual frame, which he won against Senior, and then on the second rotation you switch.
Okay.
So this is wrong, but it's fine. I mean, it's not, but it's. I mean, mistakes happen out there, I guess, and you roll with it. Certainly, Tom Jones Jr. couldn't care less because he's got the opportunity to win the frame for his partnership.
Shot he's ever played. I think he wanted to top through about 3 or 4 inches further there, so he could just trickle this in. He's now got a screw on and off the side rail. He's played a great shot though. Lovely shot.
Job done. And you have to say, Jones has played well here, just that missed on the 8 ball in the previous frame, a tricky 8 ball that it was, but he's made a couple of good finishes as well. Showed us why people are excited about him and his career through the pro ranks, as the Joneses get off to the best possible start. They defeat David Compton and Brian Halcrow, get themselves couple of points on the board as the Pairs Cup continues. We've never seen a player have to go and re-go again. You know, we've never seen, but then the reason I'm with you here as well. The error wasn't a player error, so it can't. You know, the error was, you know, it was a referee error. It happens, and everyone makes mistakes. Is how you deal with them. And Norwich is absolutely one of the best in the business, if not the best in the business. And he'll reset this and get us going again. But he was thrown off because I said just before the frame was break, Brian got up, went over and had a look at the player sheet, and then went to break. So Brian went and checked out the order, and he thought it was him to break, and he got confused because of Brian kind of throwing him off a little bit.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right. And he came straight into the studio, spoke to the officials, held his hands up. I've made an error.
Yeah.
And the decision was made, and you know, that's great. That's a true professional referee that's admitted an error there, albeit a small error. It can happen. It could be potentially a massive error for the Joneses, because they might now sit in the chair for the next 2 to 3 minutes and lose this match. I mean,
there is part of me that, and this is probably my sense of humour, there's part of me that would love to see, you know, a dry break here and Tom Jones Jr. make a reverse clearance. But there's the sick part of me that would love to see a golden break right now and throw a cat amongst the pigeons, because it is drama for sure. So ignore what you can see in the background there. There isn't 20 minutes 0-0. It is very much 3-1, and there is minutes left to play in this match. I don't know the official match clock, but it is Tom Jones Jr. with an opportunity to make a reverse clearance, as you were.
He hasn't potted.
It's not as easy a layout though.
No, it's not. Absolutely not. So as soon as we get confirmation of that match clock, I'm not sure exactly what is left.
Okay, 2 minutes 30. There's no scoreboard on the screen for us at the moment. I think the graphics man was already on to the next match, so don't blame him. But 2:30 under that now, 2:20 to play. So it's still very much advantage Jones and Jones here. Okay, a sniff, but not a great sniff, let's be honest. It's a poor layout. Red's doing some damage. Clock is absolutely against them, so they've got to make 2 finishes, remember. It will be Jones Senior to break the next frame, if we get to it. Which takes away the possibility of the golden break, much less likely the golden duck. Compton's going to give it a bit of a ride here. That was an excellent shot to develop the table. Oh, put the 8 ball dead.
Is he okay though? Is he okay?
Oh yes.
Oh, hello.
Not quite come out, but guaranteed to get to a double worst way here. He's got the angle to develop. Oh, tried to play on it, and he gets there. What a beautiful shot. And what a finish this will be.
All of a sudden. All of a sudden.
Finish of the night so far. David Compton comes up big. 1 minute, 10 seconds. And an uncomfortable feeling here for Jones Senior. And he goes for the controlled break, makes the ball, all but ices the match with that. That was a beautiful break. Make sure you square up that front ball, hit it with just enough power to get your 3-point rule. It's amazing how many times you see a ball go in when you're doing that as well. And Junior comes up just to say, pot a couple of balls here, and we have won the match. Do you think have they got a right to ask for double points now because they've won the match twice?
Well, if you don't ask, you don't get. So.
Well, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and this is now all over. He'll wind the clock right down here. Doesn't need to rush around.
And job done. So the Joneses win the match. Handshakes for the second time, and it's as you were. Tom Jones and a big puff of the cheeks there from Junior as they do get the points on the board. They will move on. They will play match number 4, and they will play Josh Kane and Callum Singleton, the other winners of our group. Fabulous break again from David Compton. An opportunity to go straight away. Scotch frame now, of course. Opening frame of the match. Always played as a Scotch frame. So it'll be Brian Halcroat to play. And these reds look very inviting layout for the partnership. Just the one nearest the right-hand side centre pocket, just slightly guarded by the yellows.
Yeah, perfect to get on it now, just a little dink back, 4 or 5 inches.
Played into it, which is a strange one for me.
It's a very strange shot, they couldn't really do anything with that.
Going into it from that angle, you're only ever pushing it towards the cushion, and it's never going to be good on the cushion. I know if he gets it fuller, maybe he knocks it a little bit lower down on the cushion, but very strange choice of shot.
Yeah, because even if he screws across and gets on it now, the red doesn't go to the left-hand corner pocket as we look at the table, I don't think. So there's no way to get on his last ball. It's a very, very surprising shot, that. Play the double. Well, something that I definitely didn't envisage. If you go the wrong way about your balls, eventually you're going to come unstuck, and that's exactly what's happened here.
I couldn't tell what the communication was like. They did chat all the way through that, so I'm not going to throw all the blame here on Brian, who obviously executed the shot. But to me, it sort of sums up where Brian's at with his game, that in those sort of situations he wants to bump that red into a better position because he doesn't quite have the belief and confidence that he can hit the spot he needs to be on that ball, and if he doesn't quite get on the spot, he wouldn't be able to, he's not got the confidence to sort of knock those ones in. So I think to me it just shows that he's not positive with his game at the moment. Charlie and Richard here looking for a quick counter, get their first frame of the night on the board. They're still very much in the night as well. Winner of this match here and now will still keep their hopes very much alive. A lot depends on what happens in the next match, of course, but win this one, win your next. Time that's enough for a 6-red shootout, sometimes enough to go straight through depending on other results.
Ripper.
Oh, break of the tournament so far.
Wow.
Have some of that.
Can I lend that break? What a break that is.
He's flushed it as well. That is just pure. 1 ball down, 2 balls down, 3 balls down. Oh, it's fabulous. What's he made? 3 reds, 2 yellows.
Oh.
And then missed the first ball. No. Oh, wow. Penny for Brian Halcroat and David Compton's thoughts right now of what's going on. Charlie Ripp having some form out there, back-to-back frames. Yeah. I know there's a fluke in there, but they lost 4-0 in their opening match, and this 8-ball is 4 straight visits to the table and a 4-0 victory. You have to say, a brilliant performance in the end. What a way to respond to losing 4-0. They win their next match 4-0, and they are very much back in the night. That does eliminate, though, Brian Halcroat and David Compton. They are out. They have a match left to play. They can no longer make it through. as we move on. Match 4 of the Pairs Cup coming up next. Match number 4 here at the Pairs Cup is always the biggest match of the night. It's where we see our 2 winners from the opening 2 games go head to head. Winner of this match takes control of this group and has qualification very much in their own hands. Josh Kane, Callum Singleton against the Joneses. Tom Jones Jr. and Senior. This time round it's Josh Kane with the opening break in the Scotch frame. Last time round it was Callum Singleton as they won 4-0 against Charlie Ripp and Richard Twomey.
Nearly family enough, but didn't, and did a good split. Split nice. Pretty straightforward opener, with it being such a big pocket going over the middle, but just a little bit, just mind what he's doing with the cue ball.
Beautiful first shot.
Perfect.
I would say it would have been nicer if they could have been on the one nearest the yellows in such a way just to get back out to roughly where they are now. But that's not really much of a challenge, to be honest. Pretty simple connections. Interesting just to see the dynamic between the 2 players there. Both players just having a little wander around the table. You see Callum just keeping an eye just to see if Josh wanted any conversation there or whether he was happy with what he had. Very good. What a break clearance that is to start off the most important match of the night so far. Frustrating for Tom Jones Jr. in the big match of the night. He's yet to play a shot. And that might remain. And that was an excellent break once again from Josh. Lost the cue ball a touch, but the power's there.
Yeah, the one really awkward ball. He's got a perfect angle here to go into it first shot, so
you feel guaranteed to be on balls if, once you get the cannon right. Chances are very high.
just wanted to snick the red, really. Not the end of the world, but not what he wanted.
Slight misjudgment, because he played that, as with topspin there. He didn't dig it at all. He thought he must be getting the cannon naturally, and he didn't. Wasn't that close, really, for the angle that he had. Still on the finish, though. Just has to rework it.
Yeah, well, the red that's now on the rail that he wanted to go into first shot, I think he'd be leaving that to last. Maybe playing it up the rail, natural for the 8.
Getting onto it slightly tricky, though.
Yeah, it is with the yellows there, yeah, for sure. Maybe plays it second to last shot, penultimate ball.
Yeah, leave the one by the 8 ball last.
Yeah.
Just because the 3 don't connect nicely.
No.
You still got to deal with the yellows, though, when you play the connection. If you're going to use the one at the bottom of the table to get on the one on the right-hand side, those yellows play big.
As this with a little bit of top left though, it's a big gap to find between the cushion and the yellow, so I don't envisage much going wrong with this shot. Oh, it has though. It has. It absolutely has.
Horribly wrong.
As soon as he hit it, you knew it was going to go wrong. He sort of didn't seem to more stun it than top it, didn't he?
All comes back to the first shot he played in the whole visit. Gets the first shot right, he doesn't have to worry about that shot.
The danger is, of course, is where the red and the 8-ball are. You can knock the 8-ball in here, you can find the off. I've done this before, me.
Yeah, slightly unique in off there. And, well, big moment in the match, just over the halfway point in this match. And the Joneses have their first opportunity, and one that they should get.
Yeah, you can certainly fancy Tom getting these, that's for sure.
And then it's back to the Scotch frame with their break.
Perfect. I think it just shows a little bit of confidence to me, like them sort of shots, you know, the third to last shot there for Tom, the yellow over the pocket to come down towards his last two yellows. A lot of players there sometimes play them either over it them or under it them, just, you know, and whereas he's played that absolutely and landed within like a foot of his ball.
Tom Jones Jr., that does change things. Oh, that's right, yeah, Tom broke the previous frame, didn't he? Hit a really poor break.
Well, say here we go. These really are tough. If anyone's going to pull off a ridiculous finish from nowhere, though, it's this man.
He won his Challenger Series title a year or two ago with a clearance, a spectacular clearance in this sort of situation. He's got another opportunity to do it here. Oh no, what's he left? 1 minute, just over 1 minute. There is time here for Callum Singleton, and those two yellows, if they plant, these yellows are a real opportunity.
He hasn't really got this time though to think about this. Just get on with it.
He may have accepted here. He may say, do you know what, let's guarantee ourselves the draw and see where we land after the next 2 rounds of games.
Yeah, and I think that's what he has done, because he's taking far too much time for me here. He should have been through at least 3 shots in here now for me.
Yeah, 20 seconds gone. 25, well, more than that, 35 seconds gone, and he's only played 2 shots.
Yeah, he's accepted for sure.
But there was definitely, I mean, does that tell us the 2 yellows aren't a plant? Because there was a chance on the yellows for sure. Yeah, the yellows can't be a plant. That's why he took his time. Clever play. Not going to have enough time here, but he's going to give it a go. And well, fascinating match. Looked like it was very much going Josh Kane and Callum Singleton's way as they went 2-0 up, but Josh Kane's mistake not making it 3-0 allowed the Joneses in, and they get back into it, share the spoils, and keeps tonight very tight indeed. 2 more matches still to come in the Pairs Cup, and it all hangs on the line. Plenty more to come. Welcome back. Brian Halcrow, David Compton ready to go for their final match of the night. They are already eliminated. Nothing they can do to make their way through this group, but they can certainly play spoiler. The position as it stands right now, Josh Kane and Callum Singleton, Tom Jones and Tom Jones, father and son combination, have 3 points from their 2 matches with a win and a draw apiece. And then we have Charlie Ripp and Richard Twomey, who have 2 points, a win and a loss. All 3 pairs can still make it through. And of course, very much live, is the potential for a 6-red shootout. If Josh and Callum win this match, nothing that Charlie Ripp and Richard Twomey can do. They are essentially eliminated, and then it's a case of whether the Joneses can make it a 6-red shootout or whether Josh and Callum go through direct. If they draw this match, they are still alive. If they lose the match, they are eliminated. And well, you saw Josh's face after the break, disgust, because he saw how good the break was, saw how good the layout was, and he had no friends on the break. This match has turned on them. All on that positional error from Josh a few frames ago in the previous match, Jimmy.
Yeah, that's right. Some strange shots being played though. That one there from Dave was something he didn't need to do.
Delicate shot here from Brian. Not brilliant. He may have felt that he was getting the cannon slightly differently and he was going to hold a little bit higher up the table. He's on the yellow here, but it's just tricky because going into the other yellow, and all of a sudden this layout has gone from looking wide open to being really fiddly.
I think you might have to play the double here. And that is tight.
It might sneak through, but you're not going to play it from here. Oh, wait, the 8-ball.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Wry smile from Brian. How close it was to dropping in. Well, they are playing for it top right. This is incredibly tight.
Can you play it off the red?
I think they're just playing. I think they're playing straight through the gap.
Drop it in and just play in the gap.
I mean, how many times, Ten, are you making this one from the? Unless the gap's bigger than what it looked on camera a minute ago. Yeah, I mean that's asking a lot from there on that off angle. If you get right behind it, okay, but from there, you have to have a few goes to make that one.
Yeah, it was a tough one, that's for sure.
Tricky situation for the other two pairs not playing right now. Both the Joneses, Charlie and Richard, would love to see Ryan Halcrow and David Compton come up big and win a match here. Take the Kane Singleton partnership out of it and make that final match essentially a straight knockout, with obviously the edge going to the Joneses, having the draw to see them through. Not to move the 8-ball too far down the cushion and make it trickier than it needed to be. Worked it all out really nicely. Never in doubt, pretty much since the moment that David Compton missed the pot. Callum get the opening frame on the board. Yeah, Brian say it's the story of their night. They've had chances tonight, they just haven't taken them.
It's crazy, isn't it, when sort of you're sat here, you have a completely different perspective of what happens in matches to when you're at the table like Brian will come over and go,
Jimmy.
well, yeah, I'm sort of, yeah, you know, didn't get many chances and you know, had a bit of bad luck, whereas we sit here and go, yeah, they have had chances, really. You know, we can certainly count a few up where they've had chances. You do see it completely differently at the table, that's for sure. That's a great shot.
Worked this one through nicely. Could have done with another turn there.
Yeah, I think he's just okay, just to pinch the pocket and screw back, exactly where he's looking. Play the 8-ball into the bottom left-hand pocket as we look at the table. It should be pretty straightforward for these two.
Yeah, very good. And this will eliminate Richard Twomey and Charlie. I mean, they are guaranteed worst case scenario here.
Oh!
Oh my. 2:58 left. Will that be a factor? Will that be a factor?
That's not. Wow, I'm speechless. I didn't expect that. Sort of snatched at it a little bit, didn't he? It's almost like he thought, well, that's it, it's over, we've won.
Yeah.
Took it too easy, and that's what happens. These boys need to hurry up, though. They haven't got the time to think. They've just got to do. No thinking, just doing.
Well, they're going to get out here, you feel. Just about 2 minutes, just under. Is there any drama in this one? Richard Twomey and Charlie Ripp's hopes of making it through kind of cling to what's going on out there with David and Brian.
Eight ball
To win it. So he misses the straight 8-ball to win the match, and he makes the golden break to sign off in style. This time they have won. This time they are guaranteed to have worst case scenario, a 6-red shootout, and this time they do eliminate Charlie Ripp and Richard Twomey, and they hand it over to the final match of the night. The Joneses have to come up with a win, otherwise it will be Josh and Callum Singleton going through. Father and son, Tom Jones, junior and senior, need to win this final game to send us to a 6-red shootout. Callum Singleton and Josh Kane did what they needed to do, get the victory, eliminated Richard Twomey and Charlie Ripp, and it's either a 6-red shootout between the Joneses or it is Josh Kane and Callum Singleton going through. They have a tough task though. Charlie and Richard played brilliantly in their second match, struggled in their opening game. A few chances got away from them, but in match number 2, 4 visits to the table. So lost 4-0, won 4-0, and they have the first chance here in the final match of the night.
It back about 1.5 inches too far there, really, but he's okay. It's natural to go into the red. It's just how close the cue ball goes towards his penultimate yellow. I think he's going to glance off the face of it and go up the table here. There you go. Oh, needs a gap. Has he got it? Don't think he has.
Got to work themselves back up to the one on the top that only goes top right now. Got into it too much and misses the pot. So first chance gets away, which the Joneses will be pleased to see. It's not a nice, quick counter clearance opportunity, though. May need to be a shot or two of patience required here. And there's the first one. Then wasn't much yellow showing there. Trying to be delicate. That's what Tom's looking for. He wants to play the lost of turn here. Cue one hand, obviously, anywhere on the table. But you've still got the same problem we had previously. Now they've decided to go. Just heard Tom say, play that one and screw into it. Which he does nicely. A little bit close to his work here. If he can just nip this back or get it out at all. Right nearest the one to where his body is now. Top left would be ideal. Oh, clever, creative. He was thinking red off yellow using the cushion. Best way to get the cue ball out and not foul playing a push shot, but it won't drop for him.
Not played the greatest shot there. He could have not left anything, but he has actually left a plant at the top of the table here. So he's not played it the best, but he needed obviously to be careful that he didn't follow the yellow through as well, so it's a bit of a double-edged sword on that shot. Yeah, nice shot. Now then.
Yeah.
For your next trick. Double off the face of the red into the middle.
Can they see the one at the bottom enough to pot it, that is?
Don't think he can he?
Slide up anywhere to get a thin clip, maybe?
There we go. Oh God, it's in.
Oh, it's in. It's
oh,
in.
Oh, he's got an off. Oh, my life.
No.
I'd like to see that replay. I'm not sure when it went.
That was ridiculous.
Oh, they're even there laughing. You've got to have a laugh sometimes, but that's incredible. So he's gone for the double. We thought it was in. It then hit a ball, went in anyway, and then found the in off. That's remarkable. I'd like to see that one back. That's one for the socials. That one.
Purposely played for both, straight behind the 8 ball. Very entertaining 5-minute opening frame of ball to this match, but it is the Joneses that get the victory. That really was an incredible shot that Charlie played. Oh, has it swung? Dry break. them open nicely, but didn't get the cue ball right. See Tom Jones Jr. just have a little look up there and grabs his cue as well. He's hopeful. Telltale sign in the chair. Yeah, and it's still hopeful. Good a shot as that was, it's not come out well. One positional error has led them down a dark path here. And the Joneses will get their chance.
Oh. A little bit unfortunate knocking the yellow safe, but still does them a favour because they can just run down the clock.
Yeah, but 250, they can't just pop the open balls here. They would leave enough time.
Yeah, they don't have an extension either, which doesn't help.
And they're out with a draw, so if they lose the frame, they're in trouble. I like this.
Yeah.
I really like it. Not potting anything. Play a really good safety there. Another couple of safeties, then they can think about potting the open balls to run the clock down.
Same again here.
Yeah, wouldn't change.
Unsafe, no.
Wouldn't change at all. Just play another good safety. Try and get underneath that yellow once again. You've got the one on the right-hand side you can get there with.
Either that, or do you play it behind the left and yellow here and put the yellow on top of the red and just tie up another ball?
I like the yellow on top of the red for sure. That's a nice safety. I think that was a bigger margin of error on the shot he's just played. Okay, now they can probably think about going for the finish. At 15 seconds a shot, you've got 145, 140. You don't necessarily need to get there, but pretty close.
I still like another safety. You drop this in.
One more safety?
Yeah, just soft screw that one now. Yeah, leave no shot. Soft screw it around the angles.
If they pot 1 more, 2, 3, if they've got 4 or 5 open balls here, they'd have to play a cannon. That would be enough. But they agree with you.
Yeah, that's the right shot for me. I don't think he's left it.
It's going to be a good old...
Oh, here we go.
Oh, here we go. That should be that then. Now it's just pot the 4 open balls. Well, they're going to be able to go short position and make it 6 open balls here. Yeah. Those 2 aren't a problem with cue ball in hand. And no need to run around and clear this quickly. Wait for the beeps. And you are into a 6 red shootout. Doing everything right here. That is essentially match over. Just don't swipe at this and pot the 8 ball, and you're into a 6 red shootout. No mistakes though. Father and son combination. Tom Jones Jr. and Senior are into a 6 red shootout. They're up against group favourites Josh Kane and Callum Singleton for a place in the 2nd stage of the Pairs Cup.
Of course, yeah, you absolutely are. You've got to almost soft stun them and stun the cue ball to the side rail.
Here we go then.
Like that. Exactly like that.
Not the perfect break. They didn't quite open, but it's actually not the worst layout. They can go quick here.
Yeah, they can get sub 20 here for sure.
Yeah, they're switching themselves around. They were on the right sides of the table. It's going to be a solid time if this drops. It's going to be just over the 22-second mark. We will get confirmation of the official time, but 22 and change. It's good. It is good.
As a pair, it's good.
Yeah. They need the perfect 6 red, and that's the perfect break. They can get there. They can get there. This is perfect. Oh, he wasn't in position. More communication required.
Oh, no. That's definitely not the right way to go.
Oh, they were there as well. They had it in their own hands and they let it get away. Too many bad shots. And in the end, it is our group favourites that come over the line by the finest of margins. Callum Singleton and Josh Kane, 22-52 holds up. They come through via a 6-red shootout. They're into the second stage of the Pairs Cup.